Let's have a look at my after the pen spreads for first quarter in my horizontal happy planner. Hi everyone, this is Angie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here today, I welcome you and I hope you'll stick around. If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. Guys, and today we're going to do a flip through of my horizontal happy planner. This is the planner that I have been using for hand lettering this year. So I thought we would go ahead and take a look at my completed spreads. First off, this is the Exotic Floors planner. And it is one of the older style horizontals. It does not have the checklist in it that they started adding to the newer version. So you won't see any checklist in here, which in my opinion, that's what made this perfect for hand lettering because I had all the lines. But anyway, let's go ahead and get through it. I will show y'all, I'll try to reference the stickers and washi that I used as well as the pens. So for January, this was my gratitude spread. You can see that, actually, let's take a step back. So this currently page says July because this was an 18-month planner that I picked up on clearance. So I took out the months before January. And when I took out December, it also removed the January currently page. But that's okay because I don't use the currently page in this planner. So that might be something I try to do going forward. But let's go ahead and get started for real this time. Okay, so here is my January. Like I said, I'm not using that currently. So on the monthly, I've been trying to pick a few pins that coordinate with my stickers and write down something that I'm thankful for each day. So I did manage to get these filled out. It did take some time. So, you know, true confessions, I did have to kind of go back through my planner and then fill some things in. But anyway, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, especially, you know, at the beginning of the year when you're starting a whole new lineup. But anyway, these florals came from an old Kellofaplan book. Those were from Winter Florals Volume 3. For my lettering over here, I used a Marvy Yoshida Color In pen. And I do have a video, a plan with me for when I was setting this page up. And then for the pens, the pink and green pens are a Pentel Sparkle Pop. And I love those because it looks like they have little pieces of glitter in them. But for the gold, I used something different. I used an old pen that I had in my stash. It was called Sergeant Art. But I love that little pen set also. So here we are for the first week of the new year. I used stickers from Kellofaplan. These were from Winter Icons Volume 2. All of the lettering, I used the Marvy Le Pen Flex. I have a few different packets of those, so it looks like I used some pastels and then just probably the basic color set. And then the washi tape was from a collection of washi tapes that I had picked up at Hobby Lobby. Sorry if I'm kind of stammering as I go along. This is a walk down memory lane. But this was just a spread. I pulled quotes from the internet for New Year's. So that's what these are for. Okay, so for the second week of January, we're moving into National Cuddle Up Day. I think I found this on the Wacky Holidays. I had kind of gone and printed a big list out that I had found online, and then I would refer to it each week to look for silly holidays. And that was kind of how I got started on this. But these stickers were from, I know these are another Kellofaplan set. I think they're from I Love Winter. That was one of her really thick books. She was doing that I Love series, and she had one for each season. So that was a thick book, and I was just bound and determined to get through that book. But anyway, that's where these stickers are from. I didn't really know how to decorate the horizontal very well, so I just tried to put some decorative stickers down the middle. These pens, I know this one looks like a Pentel Sign Brush pen. Some of these others I can tell by looking at this blue. I think this was from a new set of pens that I got off of Amazon, and they were the Right Tech brand, and I used the Vintage Colors pack. So that was fun. This week is totally blank. I think this was blank in all of my planners. So, such is life. It happens. So then I believe we're getting close to the last week in January. So this week we had National Handwriting Day. And for this one, for handwriting, I mean, there's really no stickers that, signify handwriting. So I just pulled some floral stickers from one of my older Happy Planner books. These are from the LaFleur book. And then I grabbed this washi tape from Simply Gilded. And of course, I just downloaded the quotes, from the internet. My friend Mr. Google, he has all the best quotes. But I think I just did a search on inspirational quotes for National Handwriting Day. So yeah, that was that one. It was pretty simple. And then we're moving on to National Chocolate Cake Day. And I will tell y'all, if you're interested in seeing any of these spreads, I think I have a Plan With Me video where I decorated it. And then there's a Letter With Me video where I actually sit down and letter the quotes on camera. So I will remember to link that playlist in the end cards if y'all want to go check any of those out. But for National Chocolate Cake Day, I did not have any stickers for this. So I wound up giving myself a crash course in downloading stickers from Etsy and printing them on my Cricut. And y'all, that was a challenge, but I got through it. The stickers didn't turn out the greatest because I feel like they were all fussy cut around these drips, actually around the entire sticker. So yeah, I did not put an offset on here. So, live and learn. Time goes on and you pick up little things. But anyway, this is a Simply Gilded washi. I know this is a Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip. These two here were the Pilot G2 metallic pens. Sometimes I feel like I can letter with just a regular old ballpoint pen than I can a brush pen. But for the most part, the brush pens in this one are most likely the Tombow Fudenosuke's. And then I believe I pulled these boxes from Mojo Jojo because since I made my own stickers, I needed to go find some boxes. So those are Mojo boxes. So that is it for January. So now we're moving into February. You can see I've got the blank currently. This was just something that I printed offline for the holidays. So I just kind of kept that in here. And then for the monthly, I'm back into an older Kellofaplan book. I believe this one was a Roy G. Biv book. It was probably one of the originals, so it might have been maybe volume, I don't know, either the original or volume 2. I think this was a pretty old set. And I do need to get back in there and finish off some of those old stickers. But for these pens, I had such a good time writing with those G2 metallics. I did the same thing for the monthly here. And I like the way those turned out. Okay, and then here we are on the first week of February. Again, I did not have pizza stickers, but it was National Pizza Day on the 8th. So this was my second attempt at Etsy stickers. I remembered to add the offset, and oh my goodness, what a world of difference it made. That was so much better. But these pens are the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tips, except for this big one down here. I believe this one is another one of the Marva Yoshida color ends like I used back here. I probably forgot to mention that. So yeah, and then this big yellow one, I have a hard time finding yellow pens that will actually show up on the page. So I think this one was a Sharpie brush pen that I had in my collection. And then this one here is actually a Mildliner brush pen. So yeah, I thought those quotes were really funny. Again, I just pulled them off of Google. And you can see I don't have any boxes for, who the quote is attributed to. So I don't know. These might just be puns or something. Who knows? Okay, and now we've got Valentine's week. I remember this pen was a Kelly Creates pen. I like the pen, but I didn't like the way I wrote with it. And this one is another one of the mild liner. I don't know why I'm so stumped. These are both mild liner brush pens. They have a really big tip. And then these stickers are from Plannything. These are from one of my sub boxes. I think that was her Winter Days sub box. She had 1 or 2 pages in there of Valentine's. I loved every single one, and I wanted to use as many as I possibly could, but then I ran out of room for lettering. So I've also got some of the Sparkle Pop pen here. And then these others look like they are probably the Marby Yoshida Le Pen Flex. And this washi tape is from an older Happy Planner Be Happy box. I guess it's one that they released a few years ago at Valentine's Day. So I really love that washi. Okay, so now for the, what is this, like the 3rd week in February, we had National Drink Wine Day. And as it turned out, I had these stickers in an old Kellofaplan book. This was the Life and Leisure book. That one is sold out. She did come out with a volume 2. I don't have the volume 2. It may still be available on her website. But these pens look like the Right Tech. I recognize this blue. I believe this is the Right Tech vintage colors. And then I also see some brighter ones on here. Those may be, those are probably some of the Fudenosuke's or Kelly Creates. I was trying to pull a big variety of pens and use all different ones, but currently I kind of prefer just to stick with one brand, because when you go across the different brands, they do tend to write a little differently. And when you're trying to letter on camera and every pen is different, it can be a bit of a challenge. And then this washi tape is an older washi tape that I got from Pleasantly Planned. And then this is probably another one of the Marby Yoshida color end pens. I've got a few packs of those. So now we're moving on to National Pancake Day. You can see I've made my own stickers again. I really got into that. As soon as I chose a theme, if I didn't have stickers for it, I immediately went to Etsy. And I really do enjoy printing and cutting my own stickers now that I've figured out how to do it. It's not as challenging as it was in the beginning, but you know, it's just a matter of taking your time and working through it. So for these, again, like I said, it was National Pancake Day. The quotes are from Google. I do see some sparkle metallic pens here, so that tells me that these are some Jelly Roll pens. And I believe the majority of these are probably Tombow Fudenosuke's. This looks like it might be a Pentel. I can just tell by the way the ink looks on the page. And then I grabbed the washi from an old, not an old, but one of my Plannything subs. I subscribe to her washi box and her planner box. So anyway, I thought those came out pretty good. I believe I did letter these on camera. So, you know, y'all can go back and check that out if you're interested. So that was it for February. Now we're moving into March. And on this one, this was a new sticker book from Kellofaplan. This was the new Seasonal Basics Volume 2. That's where I got these illustrations, but I pulled the florals from, I believe, Pastel Florals. And again, I've got my Marby Yoshida color end pen over here. Those are probably my favorite pens for big lettering. For small lettering, I can't really use a big pen for small. And then for the gratitude boxes, I just used a variety of Papermate Flare pens on this one. So in March, I decided that if I was going to be lettering on camera, that I needed to make those videos a little bit shorter. So I decided to look specifically for small quotes. And guess what? As it turned out, I didn't film this one. Isn't that about right? Or maybe I filmed the quotes, but I did not film the plan with me. I think that's what I did. But anyway, this pen here is a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen. I really like that pen. That was one I had picked up on a Hobby Lobby clearance. I think I got it for about, I don't know, 10 cents or 90 cents. It was 90% off or something. Anyway, I don't think I paid more than $1 for that pen. So y'all check your Hobby Lobby clearances if you're in the market for pens. But these other pens look like probably my, now this actually looks like a Kelly Creates. I kind of recognize that color, but I think most of the others are the Marvy Le Pen Flex. And then I've got my Sparkle Pop pens in the boxes, because these weren't really quotes that were attributed to any single person. So I decided to fill in my boxes with just words that were related to Mardi Gras or New Orleans. So I thought that turned out pretty fun. Oh, and these florals, I believe these are from the kellofaplan. I think it's called Seasonal Florals. That was a new release earlier this month in the springtime. And I don't know, I don't know that that was her first issue of Seasonal Florals. It was probably a volume 2 or 3. I'd have to go back and check. But yeah, I like this one. I thought it was a lot less stressful. And I loved putting the words in the boxes. Okay, now I know for sure I did not film a plan with me for this one, because I remember when I did this, that was back in a time when I was kind of in a planner funk. And I just wanted to sit down and get a couple of spreads done. But this one is using a kellofaplan book, of course. I believe this one was Seasonal Icons Volume 2. And then I used a Jelly Roll metallic to put these names in the boxes. And the pens were, I can tell by looking at these colors, these were that Right Tech pen set in the vintage colors, and I got those again from Amazon. Okay, this one here is so loud and obnoxious. This is not a favorite spread. This one, I really love the florals. These were in the new Spring Florals Volume 3 book that had recently come out from kellofaplan when I did this spread. But I took the washi from an old kellofaplan Lemon Love box. And then these little stickers here were from, now let's see, these little clear ones here, I'm not sure where I got those from. I don't know if those came from a kellofaplan or a Happy Planner, but these little shiny ones here, those are from Hobby Lobby. And those were some stickers that I had picked up on the 90% clearance last year. So I wasn't really crazy over those. But you know, it is what it is. And again, I only had one actual quote, which was this one here. The others were just little Irish blessings. And since I didn't know what to put in the other boxes, I kind of did what I did for Mardi Gras, and I just tried to put in words that were associated with St. Patrick's Day. And I guess one reason I didn't like this so much is because I used a Pentel sign brush pen here, and that is a small tip pen, but I was trying to make this big quote. And also you can see I tried to slant this, and I don't do well with slants. I do better writing straight up and down. But yeah, that's my St. Patrick's Day. And then back here we've got Purple Day. This was on the 26th. So I saw that Purple Day is Purple Day for purple people who love the color purple, but Purple Day is also associated with epilepsy. So when I did sit down to pull my quotes, I didn't pull any quotes related to epilepsy. I just went with purple because I loved all the colors of the pens. I used a combination of the Pentel sign brush pen and Tombow Fudenosuke's. I've got my Sparkle Pop pens in the boxes. This looks like that Pilot G2 metallic pen. And the florals were from one of the newer kellofaplan Roy G. Biv Boxes and Florals Volume 5. And the washi is an old Amazon washi. I bought a whole pack of washies that was all plaids, and that's where that pack is from. So that is it for March. So guys, that is Q1 in my Happy Planner horizontal planner that I'm using for hand lettering. Like I said, I do have spreads for the or videos and for the for the bulk of these, if y'all would be interested in checking those out. Now, I have not filmed a lot for Q2 as far as hand lettering goes. I found that those videos really weren't doing that well, and it's pretty time consuming to do the hand lettering, but I am changing to a different planner for hand lettering beginning in July. So I might try to bring those videos back soon. I don't know if it'll be in July or June, but I'll try to get around to that soon. So, we'll see. Let me know if y'all are interested in those videos, or I may just do the plan with me's on camera and not film the letter with me, or I may just kind of do a combo and bounce, back and forth between the two. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this walk through my hand lettering planner. If you're on a hand lettering journey, I hope that this has inspired you to, break out a planner that you're not using and put it to good use. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video today. If you did, please go on and click that like button. Leave me a comment down below. If you'd like to see more of my videos and you haven't yet subscribed, please go on and hit that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing y'all around. But anyway, guys, y'all have a great day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate every one of you and the time that you give me each week. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.